Hello and welcome back. Now today we're going to be doing the last of our work on our sunfire before we get rid of it. Now one of the things we're doing is changing the engine mount, transmission mount, and the engine torque strut. So this car has 190,000 miles on it. It's past overdue for them. And it's the last thing we're going to do before we just go ahead and get rid of the car. Now with the engine mounts, it's pretty obvious they're bad if you look at the new and old one, which I'll show you in a little bit. But also just going down the road, you can feel it every time it shifts. You can feel the motor bounce around under there, and it almost feels like transmission's out. But it's pretty obvious the motor mount and the transmission mounts are bad, so that's what we're going to change. Luckily with the upper engine mount, pretty easy to get to. Lower torque mount, it's easy to get to as well, also known as wishbone. Now the transmission mount, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, but the first thing we're going to do is our upper engine mount. We're going to have our 2 bolts here, 2 bolts there, and then 1 holding the AC line. So you got 5 bolts to change. It's pretty simple and quick to do. Now this one I bought off eBay for $30. Sometimes you can find just a rubber bushing and just replace it. But I think Summit had it for $25. I found this for $30, so I thought it was a better deal. Now, probably the biggest and most important thing when changing this is to have a jack with the board under the oil pan so you don't damage the oil pan or anything. And just go ahead and bring it up a little bit to where this rubber is all the way up here. That way when you take it loose, the engine's already where it should be. So when you put this in, it'll pretty much be where it should be and make it a lot easier. Now with our jack in place, I'm going to go ahead and remove the AC line out of the way. Now be careful with this one. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to take a 15 and pull these 2 bolts out that are connected to the engine block. I can feel the motor drop a little bit when I did that. So I'm going to use my jack and bring it back up. We will be reusing the bolts and the nuts. So just make sure, save them. I'm going to grab a deep weld, remove the nuts from the stud on the frame, or the coarse inner fender, whatever you want to call it. Now, we just carefully pull it out through there, and we got it. Now, you should be able to see the difference pretty well. Now we're just going to install the new one. Trying to slide that back in. Okay. Get these two nuts started. I'm going to go ahead and tighten these two down. Put this back on real quick, just to get it out of the way. Now, I'm going to get these slightly started so I can get it lined up. Because I want to make sure these are 100% lined up before we go to tighten them down all the way. Because we don't want to get them in a bind. Now with them started, I got probably a 2-finger gap between where it mounts from the mount to the mount on the engine. I'm going to bring it up a little bit. There. Instead of using the bolt to pull the engine up, which could mess up the threads, we're going to let the jack pull the engine up so we can tighten it down where it belongs. Make sure they're good and tight. And that's all there is to it. We'll lower the jack. And there we have it. Now, there it is. It's pretty easy, simple to do yourself. Any of y'all can do it. And I believe I checked my local parts store because I was wanting to get it done that day. Unfortunately, it was $125 there. I did some research, found that on eBay for 30 bucks, so waited a few days, saved some money. Did it myself, saved a lot of money and a lot of time not being at the shop. But there it is. And that's something try not to neglect, because this engine mount was really bad when we got it. And it's just, you can see now looking at the car how the engine sits in there. Our hoses and wires ain't all cranked up as they were, and that's something to watch out for, especially with the geometry of how the engine sits in there. You could possibly cause damage somewhere else on the car, so just be careful. And as always, thanks for watching.